You step out into the warm night, and the air hits you like a soft blanket, thick with the scent of grilled squid, sizzling pork skewers, and the faint perfume of tropical flowers. Neon jeepneys rattle past, their painted bodies like moving murals, music spilling out of open windows. And then it happens. Someone you've never met catches your eye and smiles. A real smile, not the half-second polite one you get back home, but the kind that says, "I'm glad you're here." If you've spent time in big Western cities, you know the feeling of being invisible, walking past strangers who seem too busy or too guarded to even make eye contact. Here, in the Philippines, it's the opposite. You are noticed, you are welcomed, and sometimes, you are admired. It's a strange thing at first, this sense that people are curious about you, eager to talk, to hear your story. And for men used to cold dating markets or endless swipes on a phone, the human warmth here can feel like another world. This is more than just an island getaway. It's a place where Southeast Asian hospitality meets Spanish romance and American familiarity, where every day feels like an open invitation. And as you'll soon see, being a man here is a completely different experience. 1. Geographic and political overview. 7,000 islands. 1 personality. The Philippines isn't one country so much as a giant, scattered family of islands, 7,641 of them, stretching across turquoise seas like jewels on a blue velvet cloth. At the heart is Luzon, home to Manila, a buzzing, chaotic capital where skyscrapers rise beside crumbling colonial churches. South lies Cebu, the queen city of the south, and beyond that, the pristine lagoons of Palawan, the surf breaks of Siargao, the volcanic mountains of Mindanao. Geographically, the country is a crossroads. To the west, the South China Sea; to the east, the endless Pacific. This position has shaped its history and its character, a blend of Asian, European, and American influences. The climate tropical, always warm, sometimes wet, often humid. There's a dry season for beach hopping and a rainy season where typhoons can sweep through like uninvited guests. Politically, the Philippines is a democratic republic, loud, colorful, and full of personality, much like its people. English is an official language, making life here surprisingly easy for foreigners, and whether you're in a fishing village or a high-rise apartment, you'll find that the sea is never far away, and neither is a friendly face. 2. Culture, religion and history, faith, family, and fiesta. If the Philippines has a heartbeat, it's a mix of drums from a street parade, the gentle strum of a guitar, and the rhythmic clink of ice in a glass of calamansi juice. The culture here is a layered story, Malay roots running deep, overlaid with 300 years of Spanish Catholic tradition, then brushed with a century of American influence. Catholicism still shapes much of daily life, from Sunday Mass to how people eat, dress, and even swear in surprise, but it exists alongside modern pop culture, TikTok dances, K-pop fandoms, and Marvel movies. This is a place where a devout grandmother and her trendy granddaughter can both be singing along to the same love song at a karaoke night. And then there's the fiesta, a word that means more here than anywhere else. Whole towns burst into celebration, roasted lechon turning on a spit, kids dancing in the street, and neighbors sharing food without a thought for payment. This generosity has a name, by Anihan, the spirit of helping just because it's right. Families are close-knit. Here, dating isn't just about two people, it's about joining a community. And for a foreign man, that can be intimidating, but also deeply rewarding. 3. Beauty and personality of women, romance in the eyes. You notice it right away, the eyes, soft, almond-shaped, and warm, as if they're always halfway to a smile. Skin that glows in the tropical sun, hair dark and silky, and a way of moving that's feminine without trying too hard. Filipino women often have a natural elegance, but what really stands out is how approachable they feel. Many are confident speaking English, sometimes with an American twang picked up from TV, so conversations flow easily. There's often curiosity in their questions. Where are you from? What's life like there? But unlike the guarded interactions you might be used to, Here the exchanges feel open, playful, and genuine. That mix of modesty and flirtation is part of the charm. In public, there's often a hint of shyness, a hand covering a laugh, a quick glance away, but in private, warmth unfolds quickly. This is a culture where women still value romance, small gestures, and the idea of building something lasting. Of course, respect is everything. Many women are close to their families, and serious dating means you'll meet parents, siblings, even neighbors who all have an opinion. But for men willing to embrace that, relationships here can feel refreshingly sincere, built not just on attraction, but on mutual care. For daily life, cleanliness, attitudes, where life is lived outdoors in the Philippines, life spills out into the open air from the moment the sun rises. The first sound you hear is the buzz of a tricycle engine, the country's iconic three-wheeled taxi. Weaving through sleepy streets, a bread seller calls out pandesal, offering fresh, warm rolls straight from a roadside bakery for just a few pesos. Kids are already on the basketball court, sometimes barefoot, sometimes in school uniforms, shooting hoops before the morning bell. Here, much of life happens outside. Street markets brim with fresh mangoes and grilled meats. Neighbors gather at sari-sari stores for a Coke and conversation, and beachfront cafes hum with guitar music. The pace is relaxed, but the streets tell another story, a beautiful chaos of jeepneys, food vendors, and honking horns, all somehow flowing in harmony. Cleanliness is a mix. Step into a modern mall in Manila and you'll find spotless floors, polished glass, and air conditioning so cold you'll need a jacket. Yet a block away, narrow alleys might feel gritty, raw, and alive with the scent of street food. What stands out most is the warmth. Strangers greet you, neighbors share meals, and hospitality isn't just a custom, it's a reflex for a foreign. Man, this openness makes slipping into daily life feel as natural as the ocean breeze. 5. Cost of living, wages, apartments. A king's life on a modest budget. Living here is a revelation in how far your money can go. In a decent neighborhood, you can rent a comfortable apartment for $250 to $500 a month, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and security. Local meals cost dollars for dollars, from sizzling pork sisig to steaming bowls of chicken adobo. And tropical fruit, sweet pineapples, ripe bananas, and golden mangoes are practically pocket change. To understand why foreign incomes stretch so far, consider the average Filipino monthly wage, $300 to $500. This gap means that with even a modest income from abroad, you can enjoy comforts that would feel extravagant back home. Modern condo. Living in Manila puts you steps from malls, gyms, and rooftop pools, while a beach bungalow in Cebu or Siargao gives you sunsets for company every night. Utilities rarely top $100 a month. Transport is a bargain, and entertainment, from cinema tickets to weekend island hopping, feels almost free. But with this advantage comes a quiet responsibility. Flashing wealth too openly can attract unwanted attention. The smart foreigner lives well but blends in, enjoying the practical fantasy, days of comfort, beauty, and leisure without draining his savings. In the Philippines, it's entirely possible to live like a king on the budget of a student back home. 6. Nightlife, fun, alcohol, music, the soundtrack of the tropics. When the sun drops, the Philippines turns into a stage lit by neon and laughter. In Manila's Bonifacio Global City, rooftop lounges glow against the skyline, while in Boracay, reggae bars spill music onto the sand. In the provinces, open-air discos pulse under the stars, and village fiestas bring everyone, from teenagers to grandparents, into the streets to dance. Nightlife here isn't one-size-fits-all. You can sip $3 cocktails on a rooftop, belt out love ballads in a karaoke bar, or sit on plastic chairs by the beach with a $1 bottle of San Miguel beer. Live music is everywhere, from professional cover bands nailing 80s hits to street buskers serenading couples on the boulevard. While it's easy to meet women in nightlife spots, seasoned travelers know that real connections often spark in daylight, over a morning coffee, during a game of pool, or at a weekend market. Still, the tropical night has its pull. Here, the soundtrack is an endless mix of waves, laughter, and a faint guitar in the background. A reminder that in the Philippines, the fun doesn't just start after dark, it changes shape. 7. Safety, social freedom, laws, respect brings. Respect. Ask most foreigners, and they'll tell you they feel safe in the Philippines, especially in tourist hubs like Cebu, Palawan, or Davao. Petty theft can happen in crowded markets, so keeping an eye on your belongings is just common sense. Violent crime targeting foreigners is rare, but scams in nightlife districts and overpriced taxes can test the unwary. The golden rule here? Respect the culture. The Philippines is deeply religious, and mocking or dismissing faith will lose you friends quickly. Drugs are illegal and punishable with harsh penalties, not something to gamble with. Public drunkenness, while tolerated in small doses, can turn into trouble fast if you cross the line. Dress modestly in rural and religious areas, greet elders politely, and avoid political debates in public. While protests and unrest are uncommon, they're best steered clear of. The truth is, the Philippines rewards humility, treat people with warmth, adapt to the pace of life, and you'll find respect given back tenfold. 8. Final observations and emotional closing. The place that stays with you after weeks here, you'll realize something unexpected. It's not just the white sand, beaches, or low cost of living that stay with you. It's the way the store owner remembers your name after one visit. The sound of kids laughing in the rain, splashing barefoot through the street. The way women look at you, curious, warm, unhurried, as if you're someone worth knowing. You will think about sunsets where the sky turns every shade of gold, a cold beer in hand, and the faint echo of a karaoke ballad drifting from a nearby house. You'll remember a stranger offering you half their lunch just because you looked hungry. The Philippines isn't just a destination, it's a chapter in a man's life. A chapter where the ocean, the music, and the people all conspire to make you feel like you belong. And when you leave, you don't just pack your bags, you carry it with you wherever you go.